Mr. Sanders here, and today we're going to be talking about the Empire of Ghana, located in the western half of Africa. So let's take a look at where we are in time. At this point, West Africa had been using iron tools for close to 1,000 years. However, we are a few years before the city of Timbuktu becomes a major center for culture and education. In this video, we're going to be focusing on Ghana from the year 500 up into the early 11th century. The capital of Ghana was actually two separate towns, both with a wall surrounding them. The king was so important to these people, in fact, that many considered the king to be half human and half god. The king lived in a big palace surrounded by dome houses that probably looked nothing like these. The whole empire got started with one single trading post, and it got most of its wealth by taxing the traders that came in and out of its territory. And because many of the traders coming through didn't speak the same language, they actually developed a unique system called silent bartering. If you want to learn more about silent bartering, please click the thing that's spinning now. The empire was able to expand by building up huge armies and going around and taking over their neighbors. After taking over a group of people, the Empire of Ghana would offer them protection in exchange for loyalty. This allowed them to grow the empire and minimize the fear of retaliation. Let me show you where all this is going on. Over here we have the Empire of Ghana located in the western part of the continent of Africa. And the empire is located here because of what's around it physically. It's located between some major rivers in western Africa. One of them is the Niger River to the east, and the other is the River of Senegal to the west. In and around the Empire of Ghana are some major cities. To the north we have the great salt mining town of Tegheza. In the eastern part of the empire you have the city of Timbuktu, which would go on to become a center for culture and education. Crisscrossing the western half of the continent were important trade routes. As you can see, many trade routes passed around or near the Empire of Ghana. The trade routes were here because of some of the natural resources in the area. I want to take a closer look at what's going on here. At the heart of the empire was gold. Most of its power and authority came from having gold. The people of Ghana used camels to transport gold out of the mines from the south. With camels, people could transport large quantities of gold to and from the salt mines in the north. However, because it was so difficult to extract and transport back to the capital for trading, people in Ghana would pay 1 pound of gold for 1 pound of salt, something that completely boggles our minds by today's standards. The rulers in Ghana were worried that because there was so much gold in the mines and how relatively easy it was to come by, they made it illegal for anyone other than the king to own large bars, nuggets, or quantities of gold. If you were a trader, you could only own the small coins that you used for trading. This is one of the reasons why everybody was so eager to trade with the Ghana people. Let's take a look at what Ghana traded. Ghana was known for trading salt, gold, copper, and slaves, and people from Europe and Asia and other parts of Africa would come to Ghana to trade those things. Ghana was interested in trading because it wanted access to cloth, guns, horses, and very special types of shells, like this one. Many of the North African traders that came through Ghana were Muslim. However, very few, and maybe even zero, of the Ghana people actually converted to Islam. Interestingly, the king of Ghana hired some Muslim advisors and officials, but he himself and the people of Ghana did not convert. By 1050, many of the people living in North Africa had converted to Islam, and it was during the 11th century that a group of Muslim invaders conquered the Ghana capital and forced the Ghana rulers to convert to Islam. Ultimately, the Empire of Ghana fell for several reasons. One, a severe drought had a huge impact on its agricultural production. Without water, crops can't grow. And second, the traders were tired of being taxed and realized that it would be easier just to come up with an alternative route that bypassed the Empire of Ghana itself.